Hello guys, TKG is here for your comfortable LostArk life. In this video, I'd like to cover the recent updates and improvements that was live on the LostArk KR, as the KR region update progression are quite slightly ahead than the global, so I thought it'd be great to share some of those infos for your LostArk journey. Now follow me, I'll show what you need. New Awakening skill was live on the KR region. Hyper Awakening is an upgrade version of the previous Awakening skill, V. Before you use the Hyper Awakening, you need to unlock the Hyper Awakening skill like the previous Awakening quest in the Tree Zion. Hyper Awakening quest can be started from the 1640 or higher, level 60 or higher character, and complete the Norse Cruzan main story. Hyper Awakening quest is once per roster, so in other words, once you clear the quest with one of your main characters, alt character with the 1640 or higher one will get the simplified version of the quest. So more like you can get it with some clicks. As a Hyper Awakening is an upgrade version, so you can know it when the outline meter of the Awakening skill is full. So when that meter got full and shine, you can use the Hyper Awakening skill by pressing Alt V. And also, you can change this keybind in the option. Hyper Awakening skill can be used once per gate, so once you used it, you cannot get the Hyper Awakening meter from there. But I can guarantee that it has a hyper damage for most of the class. I mean, it is exceptional damage. I tested out on the high tiered raid. Sometimes you can skip some of the mechanic and jump to the next mechanic. In addition, as the Hyper Awakening skill has a long casting time, at that time, character will be invincible. And after you're finished, you can be invincible 1 second. But this invincible is only for the normal attack. I mean, it won't stop the annihilation mechanic damage. In addition, new Hyper Awakening skill was added on the skill composition. For most of the class, now we can have a new additional 2 or 3 skills. New skills can be changed in the skill menu and can be used with the keybind T, which was auto move key. New skill can be used without requirements or cap for using. You can just use this skill by whenever you want when the cooldown complete. Also, the new skill has the tripod and the rune gems, so you can just pick it up and play right away. At the same time, new Ark Passive Ascension tab is now opened with the Hyper Awakening skill. More like, as the Ascension is quite designed for enhance or upgrade the Hyper Awakening, so it was updated with the same date as they promised. Ascension is now only available from Tier 1 to 2. Tier 1 is consisted with the common passive effect, which can be applied for the common classes, and Tier 2 is a section which can upgrade the Hyper Awakening skills. Ascension point can be got from the level up from 51 to 70, and each level will give you 2 points. Also, the additional contents will be added on the Ascension, which known as Karma, with the Tier 4 bracelet, which can be get at the September Kazero's Raid Episode 2. New Pet Specialty training system was added on this update. Pet Specialty can be accessed from the Stronghold Specialty Training interface. Specialty training can grant you some extra buff for your character Stronghold. For the character, additional damage increase, damage against the demon, ancient, HP increase or increase strength, dexterity, intelligence are now preferred. And for the Stronghold buff, I think mostly battle item crafting or area crafting buff are now preferred. But if you wish to get the character buff with the training, using the gold training is quite recommended. Other training with the token is including the other buff, so if you wish to narrow down the probability and the chance for the character buff, you have to choose the gold training for the better chance. Also, the buff has a level from rare to legendary, but if you wish to get the legendary buff or extra enhancement, you have to send the training with the legendary level pack. Otherwise, you cannot get the legendary level buff on the training. Once the training is complete, you can get the option, and you can choose one buff you wanted. And in order to get the special buff from the pet, you have to place the pet on the stronghold guard. When you place the pet on that interface, you can get the buff from your pet. In addition, the pet range graphical changes were added on this update. From now on, pet range or farm are now changed the naming to pet shelter and change the motion of the pet. And talking about the pet, new pet cookie skin was also added on this update. Also, the user experience and the interface were enhanced on this update too. You can now place with more options on the cookie workshop with more convenience. More like auto-placing are now retrieving the pet without the energy and replace the pet with the full energy. In addition, pet interface is now including more options for your pet, like the motion showcase. New Rapport for the Norse Cruzan, Ren, Hamut, Mystic are now added on the Norse Cruzan. And just like the other Rapport characters, you can place these characters on your struggle if you reach the end. New Hyper Awakening Paths are now opened on this update. As the director John was mentioned on the streaming, it needs some support for the 1600 to 1620 character progression. This new Hyper Awakening Pass will support the character on that section. Pass can be activated from the character from 1520 to 1641 character, and this character can get the useful progression buff from 1600 to 1620, like double the artisan energies. And one interesting thing is that when you clear the Gate of Thermine and the Ivory Tower, you can also get the additional Elixir Transcendence to your character. On the Elixir, you can get the 40+ Elixir setting with the luck build with some useful common effect like the weapon damage. And on the Transcendence, you can get all armor level 3 for free if you clear the Gate 1 of Thermine. And at the same time, requirements for the both factors are now chained too. From now on, Epic Elixir is now replaced to just Legendary Elixir, so you can get the Legendary Elixir even on the normal Ivory Tower or the soloing mode. Also, you can craft or exchange the Legendary Elixir with the 1600 characters. For the Transcendence, from now on, level 4 and level 7 requirements are now gone. If you wish to progress to the level 4 and level 7, you need to clear the hard mode, Gate 2 and 3, right? From now on, you don't have to clear the hard to reach that level. Now the requirements won't be necessary to clear the hard mode. When you clear the Gate 2 or 3 with the normal mode, you can reach the level 4 and level 7. And finally, the Trision system was added on this update. From now on, you can test out the Ark Passive on the training room. And of course, with the Tier 4 gems, Ark Passive engravings, and the Ark Passive itself. And from this part, I'm going to cover the future update, which it was briefly mentioned on the live streaming. So it is more like recapping the live stream and the future update. Closest update that's upcoming on the September is Proving Ground update with new one-on-one battle, which you can start by selecting 3 characters in your roster. Also, the visibility and the user experience will be improved on the future Proving Ground, which now you can get the preset or the setting of the high-ranked players. And of course, when the new preseason opened, new PvP consumable reward will be added, like the Tier 4 materials or the card pack. New Kazero's Raid Episode 2 will be coming on this September 25th on the KL region. New raid will be consistent with the 2 gates. First gate will be Narok, and the second gate will be the Brelchaza. And normal can be entered from 1670, and the hard can be entered from 1690. And just like the egg gear, same ancient materials will be dropped on the raid, but also will give you the extra reward, which known as Tier 4 Bracelet and the Stone of Destiny. Relic Tier 4 Bracelet will be dropped from the normal, Ancient will be dropped on the hard. Also, the new Karma system was revealed on the stream. Karma is an additional combat enhancement which can be used for adding extra Ark Passive Enlightenment or the Ascension point. And with the tier 4 Ancient Gear materials, you can progress the Karma experience, and with the Stone of Destiny, you can level up the Karma level. Karma was briefly mentioned, so if we want to know more about it, we have to a little bit wait for more future update and a notice. Also, at the same time, extra dungeon level will be added for the 1680 or higher character. The Scorpion Guardian, which can be met on the Behemoth's first gate, will be added as a new Guardian raid, new Cube, Chaos Gate, and the Cruzan Frontline, Avilus Operation 3 will be added on the September 25th. And a new music box story will be added on the October. And one of the story is worked by the former director Kim Gang-sun. And in November, new server transport system will be added on the KL region. Also, the new music compose system are now postponed, so they will be planned to add from November to December. And talking about the bound goal system on the global, still the KL is not considering adding a bound goal system right now. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching everyone, and always thanks for your big support. Hope this video was a little help for your LostArk journey. Hope you do well with your LostArk with this video. And of course, if you like my videos, hit the sub for more upcoming infos. I'll come back with more useful infos in the next video.